What's up guys, Brando here again with my March pickups, and I've got about 30 games across 9 systems, so I'm just going to quit yapping and get right down to it. Game I want to show you is actually one that I forgot to include in my last month's pickup video, and that is Resident Evil for the PS3. And basically I imported this from like Asia, Hong Kong, off of playasia.com, and this game was released in HD on the PS3 and PS4, and I think also on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One as well. And then they actually got a physical copy of the PS3 and the 360 version overseas, and the PS4 one for Japan actually was just a case with a digital code with a soundtrack, but this actually came with the game, and you can actually pick between English and Japanese for both, you know, for the voice translation and everything like that. So, and this is compatible for all PS3s because PS3 is region free, so all you gotta do is pop it in and you're good to go. The label is actually reversible, so you can actually have it say Biohazard or Resident Evil, and it came with 2 manuals, which games really don't come with manuals anymore, so that really surprised me. But you know, I love Resident Evil. I have it across multiple platforms. I almost have every single iteration of it, so I was really happy to add this, and I'm really ashamed of myself for sort of forgetting about it on the last video. I'll just go ahead and stick with the PS3 ones because I picked up Journey. This also comes with Flower and Flow, and basically I just found this at my local Walmart and picked it up for like 15 bucks because Journey has been really recommended to me. This has like a reversible cover, which I kind of did because I really like how it's just very simplistic, although some people might not like how it doesn't say PlayStation or anything like that on there, but you know, I really like how it's just very kind of, you know, simplistic with its design and everything. But it's kind of cool how you get like, you know, 3 games in one, and basically games that were kind of like download only, and then they put them out on a physical copy, so I had to pick it up. The next one I got for the PS3 is Infamous, and I got this on like the really cheap side, and I've actually played this. I got Infamous back when it was a consolation prize for when the PSN went down. I do believe in 2011, I want to say, but I played it before that. My buddy Rob got it, and I was playing through it. I didn't get all the way through it and beat it, but I actually did get Second Son, and way before I actually beat this one, but I went ahead and got this. I need to get the second one as well. The last PS3 game I got is a nice little gem called Valkyria Chronicles, and this is made by Sega. And the really cool thing about this is it's kind of like a third-person shooter strategy game. And I remember seeing this game mentioned on the Metal Jesus Rocks channel, and I absolutely like the look of it, very anime style. And I saw it and just picked it up, and it plays very well. It's really neat and how they incorporate the strategy and everything, and pretty deep. Moving on to the PS2, I got 2 games on my PS2, and I got Dark Cloud 2 and Dragon Quest 8. And of course, I'll start with Dark Cloud 2. I bought Dark Cloud 1 back in October, and I remember playing that one a little bit. I rented it from like Blockbuster or from like Family Video or something, but I never got a chance to play 2, and I haven't really come across this at all ever since I started collecting, or even before I started collecting. I didn't see this one too often. But my story on Dragon Quest, I remember when this game came out, I'd never played a Dragon Quest game before, and I liked how it had the Akira Toriyama pretty characters, and so I was looking forward to the next big thing for RPGs. So for this, I was almost kind of let down because it's such a low-key start and everything. But I remember when I bought it, the guy at GameStop convinced me to buy the guide because they were having a sale. If you bought this and the guide, you got like 10 bucks off the guide or something like that. And I caved in and I bought the guide. And eventually I did sell this game because I ended up selling a lot of my games to get other games, and I don't do that anymore unless it's a dupe. But basically I ended up selling this, and I still had the guide, and I was going through a bunch of stuff and I found the guide, and I'm like, and I kind of remembered I need to get that game back. I want to give that game another chance, and thankfully I was able to find it in really good condition, and it also comes with the FF12 demo, which is the version I had as well from launch. So I'm glad I got this back, and it's a great addition to the collection, and it's something I used to own. Next, I'll go on to the Nintendo stuff that I got, I ended up getting Final Fantasy IV Advance Loose Cart, which if you guys remember from one of my first pickup videos, I actually have this complete in box sealed. And I wanted to play it, but I also didn't want to open the box. And I finally came across it in Loose Cart, so I had to pick it up. Great game, I love FF4. For the DS, this game had been on my list for a while and I just hadn't seen it around. And that's Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, essentially Sonic RPG. This is made by BioWare, which is pretty awesome. I love BioWare. And I've been looking for this for a little while, I hadn't seen it. And I went to a store that I don't frequent too often and found it. And so, and of course, like this, and also Valkyria Chronicles, as soon as I bought them, I see them in my local stores that I frequent. So, go figure, right? The last two DS games, I actually already had these games, but Mike hooked me up with the case for Chrono Trigger. And I want to thank him so much for this. Chrono Trigger is like my second favorite game of all time. And I have the original Super Nintendo complete in box. I have the PS1, and I had the DS just cart only. And he bought it complete in box, and I actually printed out like a label on like a case and everything, and it looked okay. And he goes, "Dude, just swap me. All I want is the case to have it to like, you know, put the game in." So he hooked me up with this, and I cannot thank him enough for this. This is great. To have this for my number 2 favorite game of all time is just amazing. And speaking of Final Fantasy IV, I got the case for Final Fantasy IV. Again, I just had this loose cart, and I found this on eBay for like $6, $7, something like that. So it was one of those things where I saw it, and I'm like, that's pretty cheap. I want it. I bought it. So FF4 for the case for the DS. So got those complete, and makes me a very happy camper. My only Super Nintendo game that I got this month, Super Mario RPG. And I don't think enough can be said about this game. This was one of the early RPGs that I played that got me into the genre. And I actually never got a chance to fully beat it when I was a kid. It was only much later on emulation that I actually completed the game. But now I got the actual copy. And with this game, it always seemed like when I had the money, it was never around. And when I didn't have the money, it was around. And this game isn't necessarily cheap, so I found it and I just jumped on it and said, "You're coming with me, pal," because I absolutely love this game and I feel like it's worth the penny. GameStop were having some weird little sale. I actually ended up going in there and they had a whole like thing of like GameCube games, but they were like just in sleeves, discs only, and they were 75% off of the sticker price. So for these 3 games, I think I only paid like $5, but I need to get cases for them. I need to get, you know, the labels, whatever. But I went ahead and just picked up Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2. I got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, and I got Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike, which I had this game back in the day and I ended up selling it when I sold all my stuff, of course, but I had to get it back. You know, all 3 are great games. I actually played the other 2 on the PS2, but you know what? For, you know, $5 for all 3, I couldn't say no. And for this last one, I actually don't have a case for it either. It came in a cheapo case, and I've just been keeping it with these. But that's Star Fox Adventures. And one thing that really surprised me, I never got to play this back in the day. This is always one that I wanted to play because it was a little bit different, but this is made by Rare. And this was like one of the last games released by Rare before they got bought by Microsoft. So, you know, really cool find for this because I got it on a pretty cheap price as well. Moving on to my 360 pickups, I only got 3 this month. I went ahead and I finally found a copy of Vanquish, which is of course made by Platinum and published by Sega. I've been on a real kick lately trying to find some Sega games that were made after they, you know, shut down and just focus on software. But this game is really cool. I really like this. I really dug it. I saw some videos on it. I actually kind of wanted to get it for the PS3, but I ended up finding it on a really good price for the 360. This one was dirt cheap on the 360, and that's Front Mission Evolved. And I remember Front Mission, you know, that old kind of tactical RPG, and this is not it. They kind of turned it into like a third-person shooter, and it's okay. I don't think it's anything too great for being what it is. Then again, I need to maybe complete it and see kind of what I feel about it. But based on just the gameplay that I played, the early part of the game looked really cool and I liked the way it controlled. But when I went into the actual levels, I thought it was a little lackluster. But we'll have to see how this one pans out. The last one for the 360, again, I like getting these weird kind of RPGs on the 360 because it just doesn't seem like that's what the system is known for, but there's plenty on them. And then I got Star Ocean, the last hope. And this is the last Star Ocean that I really needed for the US collection, because I have a copy of every single one in some form. I don't have every version, but I've got the first remake. I've got the remake one for the PSP, then I've got the second one for PS1, third one for PS2, and then finally I got this on the 360. So, you know, I'm very happy. I like the Star Ocean series, so very happy to have this one and to just kind of complete that run. So, pretty happy about that. Moving on to the PSP. I ended up picking up 4 PSP games, all brand new on Amazon, because they're pretty freaking cheap. Starting off, I got Mega Man Powered Up, which is the remake of the original Mega Man. And it's kind of cutesy and whatnot, and I love it though. It's just so Mega Man. If you're just getting into Mega Man and want to ease your way into it, this one actually has an easy mode to kind of do that. Also, they have a mode that kind of feels more like old school Mega Man, but they don't really change the graphics for that. But they did change like the screen size, which I thought was weird. But another Mega Man game I bought was Maverick Hunter X, which is a remake of Mega Man X. And basically, it's Mega Man X with some added scenes, more dialogue, and better graphics. So, and I love Mega Man X, so I gotta have that. Now, I've been on a really big FF4 kick, and I just so happened this month to and it all started with this one, by the way, but I got Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection on the PSP. This one also comes with Final Fantasy IV, the After Years. When I saw this and it wasn't that much on Amazon, I went ahead and just picked it up because I love FF4. This is a really good version of the game to have, and right now all I need is the original Final Fantasy II cart for Super Nintendo to have them all. So I couldn't say no to that. The last one I got is a game that I used to have on digital on the old PSP Go. That was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I went ahead and picked this up, and cool thing about this particular copy I have is that on the back it's like translated into like Spanish or something. So maybe this is like one that was like from south of the border somewhere. That it's kind of like how when you buy games up in Canada, you'll get one that's the ones that have like English and French. This has English and Spanish, so kind of interesting how you find these different variants of this out in the wild, and how each game can just kind of come into your hands, and they all have their own stories. So pretty cool about that. I love the PSP. I love collecting for it. Finally, I'm going to end it with my PS1 section. My PS1 collection is probably my pride and joy. I have the most games for that than any other system. And starting it off, I got the big box for Destruction Derby, and it's kind of the cardboard box. It's got a few frayed around the edges, but I'm cool with that. It's just, I like kind of getting these big boxes to make them stand out and everything. But for the other ones, I ended up getting Cool Borders 3. This one cost $1. Good old Cool Borders, pretty much, kind of fun. I ended up getting like 2 and 4 randomly, so I ended up finding 3 for $1, so went ahead and get that to try and complete that. And I got Hot Shots Golf 2. This one was pretty cheap as well. I remember playing the original Hot Shots Golf on a demo. I never owned these games, but they're pretty cool and kind of quirky. I got Twisted Metal, which a friend of mine, Ray, gave this to me along with a few other things, but he actually didn't have the cover or the manual for it. I just kind of printed my own out, and the colors don't match exactly. It doesn't look great, but you know what? When you just have it on the shelf like that and pull it out to play the game, it doesn't look too bad. Hopefully, maybe I can track down a manual, or maybe I can get a better thing printed. But I got Jet Moto 3. And basically this completes Jet Motos. I got them all now, which I never actually played this one, I don't think. I know I played the first and second one back in the day when I was a kid, but went ahead and found this, and man, as soon as I saw it, I picked it right up because I knew I wanted to complete that. This one is really neat because I haven't seen this game in years, and I played it on a demo disc that I got with my PS1. And that's Jersey Devil. And this was a Sony exclusive, and this is one of those old platformers from back then where they all kind of felt the same, and every single one of them you had to collect the letters or whatever things you had to do to unlock doors or anything like that. But this kind of plays the same way. But for the PS1, this is a really good one to have because a lot of those games, like your Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong and all stuff like that, that was stuff on the N64, and the PS1 only had a few, like Spyro or something like that. And this one's right up there with it. I feel Jersey Devils just gets overlooked. The last one I got is Final Fantasy Tactics. And this is one, I have the remake for it on the PSP, but again, I'm this far in, I might as well go a little bit further. This now completes my Final Fantasy collection on the PS1. So I found it and just picked it up right away because I really wanted that collection complete. It is green label, but I really don't care anymore about that. I just want to have the game. You know, I want to have the game. I want to be able to play it. I don't really care about them all having just black labels, so I'm not too particular about that. I know when I first started collecting, I thought about that, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me anymore. But guys, that's it. You know, long story short, you know, about 30 games or so. And basically, this is probably going to be my last haul. I know I've said that before, but when I was kind of looking at what I was going to do for March, you know, saving money for a last game hunt, you know, I pulled together some money and I went out and I had a good time and I got a lot of these games. But I'm still going to buy games, but I'm just going to kind of slow down how much I do it. And so I was really preparing for March to sort of be my last, like, let's go to a store and pick it clean kind of thing. So for that, I guess I'm just gonna have to say so long for now, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Please go check out Journey into Comics on all of our stuff: Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Instagram. Right here on the channel, we got some more videos coming up. So I'll link all that stuff down below. Look for some more videos coming from me about my collection. I might do a in-depth PS1 video that I've been wanting to do for a while. I might do that here soon. Until then, this is Brando, and I'll see you later.